Hello and welcome to Moose's Gear Goo Review. I'm Moose, and today we got a knife review, and this is kind of a classic. It's definitely an older model, and it's a SOG. It's the SOG Flash 1. See the SOG right there. Son of a gun. I don't know if that's what it stands for, but whatever. Someone can comment down below. Either way, this is the SOG Flash 1. Oops. Got the lock on. Oops, didn't do that too well. Alright, there we go. Alright guys, so this is the SOG Flash 1. I heard about this long ago from Mr. Nut and Fancy. I'll put a link to his channel down below. He is kind of one of the originators with knife reviews here on YouTube. But he put this in the HOF. Personally, after using it and seeing it, I probably wouldn't. But nonetheless, it's still a pretty cool knife. So let's get into it right here. So the overall length is 5.75 inches. The blade length is 2.5 inches. The blade thickness is 0.09 inches thick. The handle length is 3.25 inches long. And the weight is 1.3 ounces. So it's a light one. And that's kind of one of the cool things that was good with a lot of SOG knives initially, is they have this Zytel handle material, and they'd make these handles and frames for their knives, and they were all pretty light, pretty lightweight. So, but this is definitely one of their older models. I think it's sold out on Blade HQ at the time of this video, so if you can't find it, sorry. But I think they have it on Amazon, and if it's available, I'll put a link in the description below. But that being said, the blade shape, kind of your classic utilitarian kind of drop point blade. You know, you got that good flat, that bit of belly, comes to a tapered point. Blade stock's pretty thin, but, you know, substantial enough for a knife this size. The spine isn't quite 90, but you probably could throw sparks if you needed to. It does have dual thumb studs. They're these stepped thumb studs, which I tend to like. They work well. It has a decent little guard as far as the handle. Other than that, you have the SOG Flash 1 logo on the show side here. Then on the opposite side, you just have like patent pending 6 million, whatever the heck. I don't even know what that means. There's no jimping on top of the actual spine of the blade. But into the handle, there's a little bit of texturing that you cannot notice. I don't even feel that. Alright, so now let's get into the actual handle. So the handle of the blade is pretty cool looking. Has a really nice diamond textured pattern to it to give you traction. And then you have the SOG logo boxed out in the center there. You have a number of different kind of knobs or switches in the knife, and we'll talk about those in a sec. The pivot pin has that stepped styling, and it's silver. Looks like all the other hardware on the knife is blacked out, except for the pocket clip and the other mechanical little levers here. So flipping it over on the other side, you've got that diamond texturing. Looks really cool. Did a nice job with that. Yeah, this is kind of unique, cool looking pocket clip with some weird little stylized bumps and ridges and cutouts and whatnot. But it actually works really good. And the one thing that SOG was known for also was just the absolute deep carry. Like, this is like in the negative when it comes to deep carry. It goes so deep you won't even see like the top of the knife. So that's really awesome. So if you're looking to really keep something small, covert, and out of sight, this would definitely be the knife you want. It is two-way positionable, left or right, tip up only. But, you know, you can't say anything bad about this pocket clip. It works fantastic. That being said, these different little switches on here, this slider here is actually the lock bar, and it works as kind of like a ram lock. So when the flat of the knife comes down, the ram lock squeezes in between the tang of the blade and the frame of the knife, and so then it prevents the tang from folding back. So it'll fold open, ram itself in there, and then it'll stop it until you slide the ram lock out, and then you can open it. So it functions really good. It's a pretty strong lock. It is spring assisted, which I suck at doing this. I think it's just too small of a knife for me to do this consistently. But once you get it down right, this thing flies open. It's like, boom. And that's kind of why they call it the Flash. And then the ram lock is in there. This doesn't necessarily hold all the way forward, so you might have a little shake or rattle to it. But there is jimping on it to slide it back and out of the way. And then this little lever here is an actual safety. So when you push it down, the lock's engaged. I can't open it. And then when I push it up, you can see in there there's a little bit of red. Maybe you can't pick that up on camera here, but there's a little bit of red in there that you can see. Now you know the knife is open, and you can flick it open and go to town. Whew! So there's a lot. So what I think of it, honestly, the ergos are pretty comfortable. It's a nice little knife. Lockup, there's kind of a lot of blade play in here, so that's a little disappointing. But you know, the lock holds it tight. But the ergos is nice. I do like the overall handle design, the chamferedness. It's very comfortable and usable. The thing I dislike the most, besides the lack of, you know, the blade play there, is the actual ram lock itself. It's very sharp, and you really have to dig into it and pull it back. And you can see what it did to my thumb there. Just kind of eats into your thumb. And so if this isn't a knife you'll want to like fondle and constantly open or shut, you know, because opening it's kind of a pain because it has such that tightly wound assisted spring. And then two, the ram lock, you have to put a lot of pressure into that, and then just watch it shut. Oh, yeah, you know, it's kind of a lot of work just for a small knife like this. So really not digging that at all. But that being said, let's compare it quickly. We have the Boker FR. We have the CRKT Pilar. Heck, we'll throw in this other SOG Spec Elite Mini. Alright, so as you can see, blade length wise, it is a smaller knife, but you're looking at like 2.5 inches, which is pretty comparable to some of these other blades. You know, the Pilar has about the same blade length, but because of that finger choil, you actually get more cutting surface on the other one. It's a small knife with a decent sized cutting length. I like the blade shape a lot. It's just the other things I don't like. Alright, so then comparing blade thickness, the SOG looks thicker than the Boker FR, just slightly, if not the same. Obviously the Pilar is much thicker and heavier for that matter. That's a heavy knife. And then the Spec Elite Mini is heavier. Alright, now for the final test, and that is the ugly brown glove test. Texture wise, the diamond texturing feels good. I do really like how light this knife is. And actually this jimping up top, which I don't necessarily feel with my ungloved hand, actually locks in pretty well with the glove. Oh, I'm starting to eat away at that. Ergos is good enough. You know, there's a little bit of slippage. I wish the jimping was a little bit stronger, but, you know, it works okay. Now to unlock, it does bite into the cloth glove and any glove material because it's really kind of sharp there. And that actually makes it much easier to open. And then same with the things. For whatever reason, this is not, it's barely a one-hand close. Oh, there you go. I actually like opening and closing it better with a gloved hand. It kind of just gives my hand more protection. Makes it more bearable. So does it pass? Yeah, it passes. I'd give it like a C. C+. We'll give it a C+. So good job on that, SOG. Other than that, there you have it, folks. This is the SOG Flash 1. Hall of Fame knife to some. For me, it's okay. But if you dig it and you want to collect it, or if you find a good deal on it, I think Blade HQ, the last time they had it, was $45-ish. at the time of this video. But so if you can find it under that for a decent price, or you just want to check it out, especially if you want some really deep carry, definitely check it out. On that, guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video. Check out these other videos over here. Click that button down there, the eye in the upper right hand corner. Thank you. Leave comments and questions down below, and I'll see you outside. Peace.